Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. For I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. So swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Good morning. Today and every day, we have swung wide the doors to the presence of God, knowing that Spirit is in this place and in all places and all people. Just as the sun awakens us to a new day, the Spirit of God within awakens us to divine glory. And this glory within and around us is everywhere we look and in every situation we encounter. With our hearts centered in Spirit, we can quiet our thoughts and meditate on the wonder of all of God's creation and our oneness with it. So I invite you now to take a deep breath, to become comfortable, and gently release any cares of the day. Your sole purpose at this moment is to experience the divine. And you begin to do so now as you relax in this sacred time and space at Unity Spiritual Center. Seeing through eyes of oneness, acknowledging our oneness, we at Unity Spiritual Center celebrate and honor people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. And that God is expressing through all people in unique, special, and individual ways. As you look at the flame of this candle that we light every Sunday, remember that you too carry a divine flame within, that you too are an individualized expression of God. We honor the one presence and power of God with Unity's foundation statement, which you'll find on the screen behind me, and I invite you to join me in saying it aloud together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. We give thanks for our spiritual community and for the beauty of our spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity Spiritual Center is a welcoming, warm, and inclusive community dedicated to studying and putting into practice empowering principles and tools for happiness, health, prosperity, and successful living. We give thanks that with our spiritual teachings, we can create extraordinary lives and a peaceful planet through our relationship with the loving God presence within each one of us and through our relationships with one another. Our vision and the opportunity for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you spend your days doing what you love and feel called to do, and most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. If you're visiting us for the first time, and I know at least one of you is, we do have gifts for you. And Brian, I don't think Cecilia got them. So Cecilia, did you? You got the lei and the information packet. Okay, fantastic. So as everyone else knows, what we do every Sunday when we have someone visit us for the first time is give them a lei with a tag on it that says, just as God has a design for every shell in the sea, God also has a design for your life. It's a nice affirmation to remember, so that's why I repeat that every Sunday. And Cecilia, we believe that being around a table can give us a sense of community, so that's why you see a few tables in our sanctuary. On them, we place communal journals where people can leave a favorite scripture passage, reflection, prayer, or poem. And we also have hospitality tables that we set up next door. So please do join us following the service where we can get to know you better and you can have a nice feast that's always prepared every Sunday. And for you and anyone else who may be interested in learning more about Unity in general or Unity Spiritual Center in particular, please don't hesitate to contact me. And you'll find my email information printed on the back of the newsletter. So at this time, as we move into the meditative part of our service and prepare to raise our voices in song, please do turn off any cell phones or other electronic devices if you haven't already. And Michael, is this a standing upper or a sitting downer?
This is a sitting downer.
Sitting downer, all right.
Sitting downer. And what I'm going to do, and we've got our words on the screen, and this is a piece that has 4 lines on it. And any of the 4 lines can be sung while the other line is being sung. It's done with a particular scale called a pentatonic scale, which is a Eastern scale. It has no conflict in it. Our American scale has a conflict in it, which is has the sound of this. If I play a C chord and I play this note, you hear, oh, I want you to move that here. Okay, and the other thing it does is having, and those notes have been removed in Eastern scales, which is why whenever you hear Eastern music, you go, why do I feel so calm? Because it's removed the conflict, which means once we play this and you learn the melodies that go with it, they're little mantras that can be pulled up anytime you need them, and they all work together seamlessly. And it sounds like this. So we'll give it a little try here. So here's the first one, which is peaceful, quiet, all is calm, and it sounds like this. And that's the only note you need to know, which is peaceful, quiet, all is calm. 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 And I recommend the use of this melody when someone's yelling at you profusely and you know that what they're saying to you has no bearing on anything in your life, or they're just releasing their own steam and you just happen to be the recipient. And you sing this and we'll all sing it together. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. It's my fault. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes on. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes on. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes on. And our next one is patience, harmony, and love. 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 Patience, harmony, and patience, harmony, and love. Patience, harmony, and love. And our next one. I create serenity. 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 And last but not least, it's a slow one. All is tranquil. 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 Now here comes the fun part. Think of which one you like the most. And then sing it to yourself or aloud, because they all fit together. No matter what I'm playing behind you, they all fit like little pieces of a puzzle. Which life is a puzzle anyhow. You get to figure it out as you go along. But here's our first one. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes on. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes. Next one is patience, harmony, and love. Patience, harmony, and love. Patience, harmony, and love. Patience, harmony, and love. I create serenity. I create serenity. I create serenity. I create serenity. All is tranquil. All is tranquil. All is tranquil. You guys keep singing that. Keep singing that. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, life goes on. Peaceful, quiet, all is calm. Peaceful, quiet, all is on. something when you need it.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
So as we continue into this time of worship, prayer, and meditation, feeling tranquil, feeling peaceful, let us open our hearts now to receive the message of today's daily word, which will be read by Brian Lance. If your glasses got fixed, are they good? Okay. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. The daily word today is awakening. Divine revelations awaken me to greater understanding. Daily routines may keep me paused from fully experiencing life. As I move through my activities, I may be half conscious of my actions. Being awake is a state of consciousness. Still, when I remain present and wholly engaged in each moment and every activity, I begin to experience spiritual awakenings in every instant. Practices such as meditation, inspirational reading, and attending sacred services may aid in deepening my spiritual understanding. Spiritual awakening occurs when I dedicate myself to the awareness of spirit active in my life. Engaging in daily interactions and activities can also be catalysts to higher levels of consciousness. And from Isaiah 60:19, the Lord will be your everlasting light, and your God will be your glory.
Thank you, Brian. Unity Spiritual Center is a center of prayer and healing. We have a prayer box that's placed on the table in the back of the sanctuary, where you are always invited to place a prayer request. The prayer requests are printed on green paper. We also have pet prayer requests that are on purple paper. Let's just take a moment now to hold those prayer requests in the box in our hearts. And know that perfect divine love is enfolding each person who's represented in that box. And that divine order is taking place for all concerned. The prayer requests that are placed in the box are prayed on by me and our USC prayer team for 30 days. And then we forward them to Silent Unity at Unity's World Headquarters, where they're prayed on for, for an additional 30 days. As I mentioned, you'll find the prayer requests available in the back next to the prayer box, and you are always invited to fill one out and place it in our prayer box. But we also have a place in our service for you to make your prayers audible. And this is the time now to make your prayer requests known to your spiritual family here, so that we can support you and stand with you. So after we sing the introduction to this song, you're invited to speak your prayer request aloud, and we will answer each prayer request by singing, "Your prayer is my prayer too."
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. I pray for my brand new grandson, 2 days old. Your prayer is my prayer too. 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 Your prayer is my prayer too.
We give thanks for this opportunity to bless and to be blessed in spirit. We give thanks for the feelings of connection, of peace and warmth that fill our hearts and minds right now. We give thanks for the privilege of praying for others, the spoken and unspoken prayers, the written and unwritten prayers. We give thanks for praying for all of those, the members in our community, in our nation, and around the globe. And we affirm that always and in all ways, divine love and divine order is everywhere present. At Unity Spiritual Center, your prayer is our prayer too. Amen.
I wrote this particular tune when someone very close to me was overwhelmed by everything happening around them, and they couldn't see straight anymore. And you know when that happens, you can feel it crossing over, and you go, oh, this is not going to be good. So I wrote this to try to center and put them back where I knew they wanted to be. What's your hurry in this fury? God is holding you now. Untie the knot in what I am caught in. God is holding me now. Relax my hands and rest my eyes. Take a deep breath. Realize that I can do this. God is holding me now. In this moment, I'll step aside. I will let go, let God provide. Find my center, let love enter. God is holding me now. Relax my hands and rest my eyes. Take a deep breath. Realize that you can do this. You'll get through this. God is holding you now. I can do this. I'll get through this. God is holding me now.
Oh, thank you, Michael. That was beautiful. And really a perfect introduction to what we're going to be doing today. Something different. And I think you will be rewarded for your effort because we're having our second meditation Sunday of the summer. And what we thought we would do is once a month during the summer months, we would spend the time in a longer guided meditation, so that you can learn 3 different ways of being in the silence, and at the end of the summer have at least 3 new tools for your spiritual toolbox. If you like it, then we will consider continuing it in either in our Sunday services or as a class. So for those of you who were here last month when we launched the first Meditation Sunday, you may remember that I quoted Charles Fillmore, our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, with a wonderful and pretty direct quotation of why he practiced meditation. And this is what the article said, and it includes Fillmore's quote. Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore started his practice of the silence in the pursuit of truth. He wished to move beyond the contradictions and paradoxes he was seeing and reading about. He said to himself, if I am spirit, and this God they talk so much about is spirit, then we can somehow communicate, we can somehow commune, or the whole thing is a fraud. I find that such a fascinating quotation because Fillmore was really saying, you know what, we talk a lot about these spiritual things, but if we can't experience them, then why are we doing it? And he used the word fraud. He said the whole thing is a fraud. So from that time, he began to spend an hour every night to sit in the silence in order to get in touch with God. God is always present in every aspect of our lives. Practicing the silence brings our consciousness into the direct experience of God. And it really is that simple and that profound. But again, these profound reasons, I mean, good reasons enough, right? Because what's more profound than having a direct experience of the highest power in the universe. I mean, that's pretty profound. But there are also practical reasons for meditation, which is why I wanted to spend some time this summer looking at them. And some of the practical reasons for meditation include a stronger focus and concentration, reduced tension, anxiety, and stress, clearer thinking, and less emotional turmoil, lower blood pressure and cholesterol, support in kicking addictions and other self-defeating behaviors, greater creativity and enhanced performance in work and in play, increased self-understanding and self-acceptance, more joy, spontaneity, and love, greater intimacy with friends and family members, and a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. So do any of those or all of those call to you? Raise your hand. All right, you're in the right place. Very good. So one thing I want to say, and this is an important thing, whenever I'm introducing, or anywhere you go, when somebody is introducing a spiritual practice, just know that there are many forms of meditation, and this is just one of them, the one that I'm going to introduce to you today. Not every form of meditation is going to be your cup of tea, and that's okay. So that's something to, just consider that if this one doesn't totally excite you, that's okay. At least you've explored it. At least you're aware of it. And next month we're going to do something different. So this is the idea behind our meditation Sundays. It's just to give you a spectrum of different things that might call to you, that might resonate with you. And if one doesn't, then that's perfectly okay. And let's just get ready to enjoy the longer meditation that we're going to enjoy today. So the meditation that we're working with today is Lectio Divina. Has anyone here experienced that or done that? Excellent. All right. Well, I'm really excited to introduce that to you. I chose it for this particular month because, as you know, we're working with Charles Fillmore's 12 Powers. And the power for this month is understanding. So I thought that this was a really effective meditation for understanding, because what it's going to do, it's going to take you beyond the head and into the heart, into a different way of knowing, into a different way of understanding. It's something that's been done for centuries, for many, many centuries. Lectio Divina is the Latin word for spiritual reading or holy reading. And it really is an ancient prayer practice that allows us to encounter God through the scriptures or through any other sacred book. So you could even try it with a daily word. It doesn't have to be the Bible. And the idea behind it is that when we practice Lectio Divina, what we're saying is, I am here, I am listening, I want you to speak into my life, because I know that when you do, I am helped, healed, and changed. So in this practice, and probably in every meditation practice, we come with an open heart and without an agenda. We begin by quieting our mind and our heart, turning our focus to God. And it helps to remember that we are already in the presence of God. God is here. God is present with and within me now. This is just a time to set aside and listen for God's voice. So the practice of Lectio Divina takes you through 4 movements. I created a handout that you should have gotten when you came in that will take you through those. They explain what the 4 movements are. And the reason I did a handout for you is that if you like this, you can take it home with you and try it on your own. Did everybody get that handout? If you didn't, raise your hand. Okay. So Cecilia and Teresa looks like need a handout. So I'm just going to explain it now quickly. The 4 movements each have Latin names. I don't know Latin, although I did have a required 8th grade module in Latin. What I remember from it is agricola, which means farmer. didn't get too much past that, but I'm going to do my best to pronounce these 4 movements. And what they are is they are a movement. They're a movement through the process into the presence of God, that final resting place. So, as we begin, Brian, why don't you turn down the lights? And knowing that you can return to the information about this practice, why don't you put down your hand out for now? And let's begin by singing our meditation song, Holy, 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 just to remember who we are. So we're going to sing 3 verses of this. We're going to start with We Are Holy. We'll move to You Are Holy. And then we'll finish with I Am Holy.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy.
So in the silence now, we begin by quieting our heart and our mind and turning our focus to God. We remember the words to another song that we sometimes sing here, that in this moment we are in the presence of God, that God is present with us now in this place, this holy space. So just rest in the silence for a few moments now, becoming more and more aware that you are in God's loving presence right here and right now, that we have set this time aside for being with God and hearing God's voice. So I will now begin the first movement of our meditation practice by reading a passage from Scripture. This is the part when you reflect on a particular passage. This is the part known as Lectio, the part where we read the passage. So on the first reading, you simply open yourself to the presence of God. As you listen, take in the words and the overall flow of the passage. And then we'll have a time of silence following the reading, during which you can continue to open yourself up to Spirit. This reading is one probably familiar to you. It's from Matthew chapter 17, verse 20. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. It's time for the second movement of our meditation practice, the part known as meditatio, where we reflect on the passage. So on the second prayerful reading of the passage, just listen for a particular word or a phrase through which God wants to speak to you. You will notice your attention being drawn to something, and if it doesn't happen, then just choose a word. And once you have received the word or the phrase, begin to silently meditate on that. Just reflect on why God would highlight that for you today. Ask the God within any questions that come to mind. And note things that might seem important as you meditate on what has been given to you. This time and this movement, the focus is on listening to what God has to say to you. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. is time for the third movement of this meditation, known as oratio, and which is where we respond. So on the third prayerful reading of the passage, listen now for God's invitation and respond from your heart. The divine is always inviting us in some way to let go of something, to take up something, to do something, or to be something. That invitation can take innumerable forms. So following the reading, continue to listen for God's invitation and note how your heart responds to this invitation. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. It is time for the final part of our meditation, the movement known as contemplatio, a time when we simply rest. Focus of this last prayerful reading of the passage is simply to rest now in the love of God, the peace of God. So just let the words wash over you. There is no further need to reflect or respond, only to be. Just allow Spirit to draw you close and fill you with divine love, grace, and peace. And we can linger for a moment in this place of deep connection for your being filled and refreshed for your continuing journey. I tell you the truth. If you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. As we end this meditation time, I encourage you to take a word or a phrase or an image with you as you begin now to return to this day, this place and time. Just note if there's a word or an image, a phrase from this meditation to which you can return to during the day. Something that will remind you of the love of God, the peace of God, and the special message that Spirit had for you today. As we now prepare to bring our sacred activity of meditation to a close, we're grateful for the newness of life within, for the peace, power, and direction that lead us into this new day and into the coming week, knowing there are always unlimited possibilities. As we begin now to fully return to waking consciousness, perhaps moving your fingers or your feet, knowing that we can return to that peace of prayer and meditation at any time. We are awakened to our oneness with God. We are opened now to new ideas, new actions, new directions, and new beginnings. And so it is. Thank you, God. Did you enjoy that? Yeah. If you're interested, if you decide you want to continue with it, just let me know, and maybe we can find a time to create a sacred circle and practice it. I would love to do that with you if you'd enjoy it. So as you can see, there's lots to experience here at Unity Spiritual Center. We offer positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. And here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. And I invite you in saying them with me. Our vision is centered in God. We co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are, we are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And in this space, feeling inspired by our mission, values, and vision, feeling enriched by what we've experienced here today and what we're about to experience in the hospitality room, let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves, we are pleased to tithe 10% of the offering collected today to the West Central region of Unity Churches and Unity FM. So let's take a moment now to bless our tithes and love offerings, cupping them in our hands or placing them next to our heart as we say our offertory prayer. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
You feel alone all the time. Does it ever puzzle you? Have you asked why you seem to fall apart? And then again, do you ever really learn or just pretend. Why fool yourself? Don't be afraid to help yourself. It's never too late to stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, leave. Love and learn. Though you try, you can hide all the things you really find. This time decide that you will open up and let love in. There's no shame in sharing all you keep within. Why fool yourself? Don't be afraid to help yourself. It's never too late to stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, dear, and love and learn. Why fool yourself? Don't be afraid to help yourself. It's never too late to stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, stop. Look, listen to your heart, hear what it's saying, live and love and learn.
You were in fine form today, Grandpa.
Yes, well, back in my day.
We give thanks for the many blessings that are in our church this very moment. We open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that are ours to choose. We are filled with a mighty faith that empowers and frees us to live our divine purpose and serve our community with excellence. And so it is. Amen.
So I'm going to turn the microphone on for the announcements. We've got some fun things planned for you coming up this in the next few weeks. We're having our last class this Tuesday night on the 5 principles. It was a book that we spent 5 weeks studying, and this is the last week we're holding it, but please don't let that stop you from joining us on Tuesday from 6:30 to 8:30. It'll give you a little taste of what we do. It'll give you an overview of the 5 unity principles. And I'll be starting a new class in August. It's going to be a prosperity class that'll go through November. It'll be a video class as opposed to a book study class. But we always have such a great time. And if you've thought about it and you thought, oh, well, I can't come because I've missed the other ones, please don't let that stop you. We'd love to have you Tuesday night. I'm about to go on vacation, so I am not going to be here for the next 2. I know, bummer. Well, bummer for you, maybe, Brian, but I'm kind of excited about it. I'm going to Canada, and I'm going to Chautauqua Institution in New York. So I'm going to be gone the next 2 Sundays, but we've got really great programs for you. We're going to bring you Anton Miserak and Lori Berryhill. They're going to be here next Sunday. And so it's going to be a different kind of service again. It'll be a musical one. They're going to be looking at mythology and kind of illustrate their points through music, followed by a very casual concert after the service. They're just going to pass the hat, so don't let money get in your way of attending. We'd love to have them supported with people in the seats to just get another wonderful experience of their music. They've been here before. They're great, as people may remember. So please join us next week for that. And then the following week, our new center manager, Reverend Jerry Bragg, is going to be speaking again. If you missed his talk earlier on what was it? Was it Franciscan spirituality? I can't remember. Yes, Franciscan spirituality. He'll be back, and he's such a wonderful treasure and asset to our spiritual community. So if you missed that one, you'll definitely want to come to this one. If you didn't miss that one, you'll definitely want to come to this one because he's a lot of fun, and it'd be great for him to know more of you. We're also going to be doing a block party on August 13th. We did this just for fun. We decided to put Michael out on the front steps and try to capture some of the Stern Grove crowd, who are heading this way to go to a free concert. And this is going to be, do you remember it's War, right? Who's playing?
I think that's right.
Yeah, so
Eric Burden and War.
Yeah, we picked a concert that was going to have a lot of people wanting to have a good time, and so this is just a way to kind of say, hi, folks, we're here. This is the incredible music that you get to experience every week, and as I remember, I made lots of jokes about Kathy Russell, our board president, working the corner, because she was really good with her refreshments, and it's just a fun way to say hi to the community when there's a lot of high traffic, so plan on coming August 13th for that. We also are going to schedule a labyrinth field trip. There's a labyrinth at Land's End. I haven't been there myself, but one of our new members, Elisa Brown, is going to sort of organize this field trip. So that's coming up in August. I haven't figured out which date yet, but we'll be sure and tell you. And also, I'll be holding another membership class. So if you've been coming to USC for a while and you'd like to become a member, that's going to happen probably, it's either going to be the 23rd or the 31st of August, depending on which date works for Elisa to do the field trip. We also have a prayer chaplain training coming up, and that's going to be August 18th and 19th. It is a Friday night and a Saturday. It's $95 I think it's $95, we'll check, but it's under $100 to come be trained in a Brand of Unity prayer chaplain service. It includes this wonderful binder that you'll get to keep, full of wonderful materials, and just the opportunity to learn more about what it means to pray as Unity defines it, and to be of service to your community. And Marcy, I can't remember who is doing the prayer support today. Is it you or Sylvia? Okay, so if you're curious to know what that's like and you are in need of prayer support, you can have the wonderful joy of shared prayer communion following the service with Marcy. So with all of that in mind, let's bring in our children.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Keisha has a little something. We've been talking about how we're our family and we are a family of God. So, Keisha, can you read that?
The whole world is home, and we are God's family.
So let's bless our children and let's bless our new child, Michael's grandchild, which was born a couple days ago. We include Luca or
Whatever his name winds up to be, they're kind of going, meeny, meeny, miny, mo.
we include him.
That's okay.
Our blessing. We
Love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us wherever we